So today we're going to use the chair for the whole of the class. And I'm going to show you many different things. If you work in an office, many different things that you can do whilst you're sat at your chair, or when you have a little bit of time in between. Just going to put socks off. So let's start with a cat and cow stretch on the back of the chair. So, or you can do this with your hands against the wall, or you can do it on a desk, on a stand-up desk too. So let's just warm up our backs. Have your feet straight and your legs straight too, and sort of find the core and the tilt of your pelvis. For a lot of people, this is hard to find to begin with. It takes quite a long time to find the ability to have two straight legs and then bring up your tailbone and then tuck it under. So see what you can do. Draw your shoulders down, so you're not pulled out of your shoulder. And just let's start with the pelvis. So focus on your attention onto your pelvis. Can you gently rock it forward? Can you rock it back? Can you go to your knees and see whether they're gripped or not? If you can relax them, that would be really nice. But if you can't, it doesn't matter. We can work on that another time. And then see if you can bring your weight back a little as well. So you really sort of stretching and reaching your bum back. And two legs are straight, feet straight, and just gently. So remembering that the pelvis guides the lower back. So you want to be able to move your pelvis in all kinds of directions smoothly to allow your lower back to have mobility and flexibility. So for some people who spent many years sat with a tucked pelvis in their seat, this is quite hard for them, but you just got to keep working at it. And the calf stretch helps a lot. So let's just arch all of that and stretch out of your shoulders. Maybe pick your head up a bit from the floor, and then use the pelvis to pull forward and create a U-shaped back, a really exaggerated U, and then forward again. Let's bring in our head. So tuck the head under, arch the back up, and then go the other way. And you could use the pelvis as the first point to move, and then you could feel the stretch grow your back, and then go the other way. So be mindful of these shoulders. They creep up to your ears so easily. So see if you can keep your shoulder blades engaged too. Right, where are they? Are they trying to pull down and back? So this is just, I'd say, one of the nicest things to do. You've got a bit of backache. Watch your ribs, though. You don't want them too flared at times. Be conscious of where they are moving to. So lots of things to think about. And then see if you can sort of draw a figure of 8 with your bum. Bringing in some of the sort of diversity to your hips. So sort of do a big circle around one side, down and up, and then go up and down the other side. You can always come back to the centre. Oh, so your back should be quite warm now. So let's leave one hand on the chair or the desk, and then keep your spine in sort of the neutral position, so not too far bent forwards, and don't let your belly go, but actually bring your pubic bone and the bottom of your ribs together so that they're working together, they're connected, and then open up your arm to the side. I've stepped like this so I can maintain this nice curve in my back. Some people may be able to go really low and still maintain this curve in your back. So if you can see yourself, try and maintain this nice curve in your back. And don't be like this and then add on the other side twist, because that doesn't really help much. So nice curve and then open up to the side. Try and be light on your hand on the chair. See if you can spin your ribs round. And you might want to move a bit as you do this, so you could find the awkward, the hard to reach positions. Those are the ones that we all need to work on, the hard to reach ones. The easy ones are the ones that you use all the time. So for me, this one's quite hard. And also that one is quite hard. Think about drawing your shoulder back as you lift your arm. Create some work. Create some work for your shoulder. Don't just mindlessly lift your arm. Just going to check if anyone else is in the waiting room. So keep going. No. And let's go to the other side on the turn. Check on the dog, see if he hasn't escaped. Put your hands on the chair lightly, and then think about your shoulders. So mine's like in a hanging position. See if you can pick it up. Draw it back and down towards your waist. Let go of your tummy, but at the same time, kind of be conscious that you're not like a banana. So watch your ribs. So keep the connection. Ooh. Twist to the side. You might find that there's a point where you want to just stay because it's hard to reach. You might feel quite stiff. So that's the point to go to. Or you could make it really sort of moveful and flowy if you wanted to. You do what feels good for you. Keep your hips fixed and move your ribs about your hips. This next on it. Ooh, yeah. Oh, it's really nice. You should have quite a warmed up back now. Let's just do a rhomboid push up on the chair as well. So if you remember, you can come up to kind of standing and just draw your shoulder blades around your spine. Try not to jerk your head forward, but really see if you can warm up those shoulder blades too. So hug the spine with your shoulder blades and then push your spine through the middle. Hug the spine with your shoulder blades and push. You could have straight arm or you could have a little bent arm if you want, as long as you're moving your shoulder blades. Ooh, so maybe do a circle with your shoulders back and forward. You should be able to, if you work at a desk, you find a few minutes, 2 minutes to just do a bit of this throughout the day. The next thing we're going to do is something that is designed to deliver to some, well, not designed, just put together. I thought, oh, this is a really nice way to warm up the calves. So do a calf stretch. If you've got a calf stretcher, you could use it like this, if you want to. We're going to lean, so we've never really done this before, but if you step over the calf stretcher and just put your weight on you, well, bring your weight onto your back leg, but don't let this hip drop. So lift it up and reach forward. Or you can just, if you don't find the calf stretch, you can just do it on the floor, one leg back and a straight leg. So you can keep the heel on the floor at the back. But for some of us who've been calf stretching for a long time, this might not be what you need. So just building the calf stretcher, or a stone, or a roll up towel. Ooh. Try not to have all your weight on your hands. Bring your weight back over the straight leg. You can lift up your front toes on the other front if you fancy it, see. And go to the other side. So stepping over the calf stretcher, but making sure that you consciously press the heel down. Press that big toe into the floor too. And then if you're not in the calf stretcher, just maybe swing back and forward with the foot flat on the floor. Pushing the heel back. Right, and then let's just do move into bending the knee at the back. So we did it with a straight leg. So straight leg at the back, bent leg at the front. And now I'm going to just put a bend in that knee. So be mindful that your foot's straight at the back and that your knee tracks above your toes. So don't allow your knee to fall inwards. Really nice stretch. If you wanted to, you could come off the chair. Let's go to the other side. We've done a straight leg and now we're doing bent. So make sure your knee tracks straight. Just have a quick look down. What's everything up to? Where you want to try train tracks with your feet. Are they straight? Heel into the floor with the back leg. And then tracks over the toes. Okay, step back and take your head between your hands. So this stretches all the muscles that wrap around the back of the ribs and connect into the arms, connect down to your pelvis. So this is a really lovely back stretch. Be mindful that you haven't got any weight on your hands. Sometimes when you put all your weight on your hands, your shoulders might hurt. So just think about using your feet and pushing your bottom back over your feet so that your weight's more back than front. And I'm sliding my bum from side to side, so I'm automatically doing that. And then let's bend one leg and then bend the other leg. Bend one leg, bend the other leg. Bend one leg, bend the other leg. Bend one leg and the other leg. Okay, so then reach one knee up, have the back leg straight, reach one leg up. So this is a movement for the arch of the foot, would you believe it? So spin your leg, use your hips, So keep your ribs still and your hip is rotating around as if, so imagine that your leg is a stick and the hip is rotating on the stick around the stroke. And you'll notice that your foot wants to move and you can feel the arch of your foot move as well. So the further you go back, the further you put your weight forward, you'll feel the arch of the foot engage. Push the heel down. Really nice one for the arch of the foot. Just shows how the hips connected into the feet. And then go to the other side. Some people, I just do this on the wall as well. So for some people, they can't feel the arch of the foot move. So for me, it's easier on this right foot to feel the arch of the foot lifting up. So keep your ribs still, shoulders down. You're just rotating your hips, but you can feel your foot working in some way. Ooh. So you could do this against the wall as well. Okay, come back round. Then we're going to do a calf raise now. So feet straight. So always remember hips, knees, ankles in a line. And when our feet are straight, so your toes might be coming inwards. Connect your heel bone to the last bone of your pinky toe in a straight line. And then roll onto the balls of your feet. Let your toes spread out. Make sure your big toe is in action. You can just come up and down, giving those calves the full range of movement, reminding them that they do move. And if you wanted to, you could extend that range of movement. And if you put your feet on the calf stretcher or on a rolled towel, and you can really go the full length. So rotate your thighs out. Be really mindful that you're not rolling onto the outsides of your feet. So you're really using consciously digging your feet. Ooh. Fine, wasn't it? After a couple more. Try not to screw up your toes, really hard not to. Up and down. Right, let's use the seat of the chair now. So put your calf stretcher to one side. Turn the chair round. I see. I'm going to do a back of the leg stretch. So you might want to hold on to something. So put one leg on the chair straight. Make sure that this hip's not scrunched up. Drop it down. So if you can see yourself, your hips are square. You'll know when you've dropped it down. And then flex the foot. And then drop down your ribs. Now we're going to hinge from a tiny hinge. Depending how tight you are, see if you can keep the leg straight and the knee relaxed and pull your hips forward. So hardly moved, I've already found my stretch. So I'm drawing my tailbone up, keeping this nice curvature of the spine. I'm not reaching forward at all. I don't want to. I want to get the back of the leg. You might need to go a bit wider if you feel a bit back balance. And try not to have this leg reaching forward. You need to have it square across the front. And reach your toes up towards you. See if you can relax your knee. See if you can bring your tailbone up. So as if you're going to fold forward, but using the hinge of your hips. Oh, that is 6 hours in minibus yesterday. Can't move. Ooh. So here as well, imagine that your leg, if it's so tight, which mine is, see if you can sort of relieve it a bit and bring in some different movement. And imagine that your legs are golf club and you're going to rotate it outwards, back in, outwards. So just breaking up the stretch, something else. Rotate out, and then your foot stay still. Out and in. Out and in. Out and in. Okay, come back to the stretch. So see if you can lift up your tailbone, pull your hips forward. And this time, if that's kind of, you're getting to the end of the room, see if you can point your toe as well. Flex your foot, point your toe, flex your foot. Keep the tailbone on, but just change up the stretch a little bit. Watch your ribs. Keep them down. Let's swap legs. So this would be a really good stretch to do any kind of a rival work if you walk to work. So flex your foot. Bring your toes up towards you. Have your leg back in the hip joint and your hip square. Reach your tailbone up. So you hardly move, but you can feel it down the back of your leg. And then do a bit of a rotation. So rotate your leg out and in. Out and in. Out. Brings the movement, some tiny movement that we don't really do much of, spinning the leg within the hip. Out, back. Oh, so we're just going to come to a sitting position. Remind ourselves how we sit on the chair. Whenever you sit down, always try not to lean back into the chair like this. Always be actively sat. And it really helps to sort of budge yourself up to the end of the chair. And don't fall off. But you always want a little bit of a tilt on your pelvis. So your front foot comes down. You've got this nice curve in your back. This is a really active way to sit. And more back movement is accessible when you don't use the back of the chair. I do understand that people do need to use the back of the chair sometimes. So keep this nice curve back and let's do a twist. So use your body weight, use your own strength to twist yourself around. Externally rotate the elbows because you want your shoulders to be kind of going back and down. And by doing this, imagining the huge box that you're holding really helps to do that. And then try and draw your shoulders down. Watch your ribs bring them down. Do a twist, hold it here. Takes a lot of energy to hold this here. Just hold it for a second. Watch your head, stack your head on your shoulders, maybe look towards your hand at the back. And then for a few moments, really sort of maybe grab the back of the chair. All attention is on the ribs, so driving the ribs round, dropping your shoulders down, hooking your hand around the chair or somewhere else. Really nice, really nice. Stretch your neck round, tuck your chin, bring your head back over your shoulders. Really nice. And then go to the other side, so same thing, externally rotate the elbows, spin them round. Use all your strength to hold you there in that twist. Think about your ribs. Think about filling them up in this awkward position. And then use the back of the chair if you want to really don't. It is forcing the twist, but I don't really like the word force, but because you might injure yourself, but sort of enabling the twist a bit more. Try to keep your legs where they are, or don't let them fall in when you twist yourself around. Push your hands and the outside of your knee into each other. It's really nice. And then what we're going to do next is you're going to take your knees wide and sort of get yourself right on the edge of the chair without the chair flipping up. And we're just going to pull ourselves forwards. We're going to do an inner thigh stretch, taking your knees outwards. So remember that your knees and your ankles move together in the same plane. So be conscious about that. So they bend, in the same direction. And then see if you can pull yourself forward so much that you can get your elbows on your knees. You might not be able to, so just let your hands go to the insides of your knees. Maybe let go of the tummy. Spend a lot of time holding it in. Well, I do anyway. I reckon I've spent a whole lifetime trying to hold in my tummy, and it's taking a long time to stop myself. And then maybe take one on, so maybe externally rotate one hand, put it against the inside of your knee, and open yourself up to the side. That is such a nice stretch. But watch your ribs. You don't want to be using your ribs to take your arm back. You want to keep them down, and you want to use your arm within the joint and really let the thumb draw a big semicircle. It's a really nice stretch. Watch your head. Be mindful of using everything. Be really conscious. Actively doing everything. Don't just follow blindly. So use the externally rotate the elbow. Put it on the inside of your knee. So, and your arms straight. Draw your shoulders down, ribs down, and really use your arm. Draw your shoulder back, spread your fingers, and then maybe you want to reach around in a bit of a semicircle. Draw a red rainbow. Where's your thumb? Is it driving back? Is it falling back? Watch those ribs. Use your shoulder. Okay, let's do a bit of tucking. So now I want you to tuck the pelvis under, sit in a really rounded way, and then pause, a bit of a cat-cow at your desk. So you're quickly coming off one call, going on to another call. There's no reason why you can't do a couple of these. Wake up your spine, move it. Twisting is lovely too. So then let's do a figure of four stretch for the hips. So staying on the end of the chair, take one leg onto the other leg. So one ankle onto the knee. I understand that many people can't actually do this. So have your legs straight and either put the ankle on top of the knee or below the knee. So you find yours and your stretch. It's also to do with the pelvis as well. So you want to make sure that the bent leg is the leg that feels the stretch. So you need to find it. If you can get your leg, it's just sort of think about having a box here in front of you and a flexed foot. And then work on the pelvis. So the pelvis creates the stretch. So pull your hips forward. Let this bent knee flow out to the side. Ooh, very nice. Having a stretch. You might want to add on with a little twist in it, maybe. Just bring in a bit of diversity. You might like to stretch your back over this leg too, if that's what you fancy. So tuck your chin under, and when you feel the tension in your hip, just try and relax it. Try and keep your weight on both bum cheeks on the chair. Tuck your chin under. Really nice. And then go to the other side. So remember, if it's too much for you, you can just create it here. It's all in this hip, rocking forward the stretch in the hip. So then, ooh, move forward over that hip. Ooh, so I have one hip that's really tight, and it's this one. This stretch is just so nice for this hip, even though it's quite hard to do. You could combine a little bit of a big toe stretch as well. You could hold on to your big toe and wiggle it around. It's very cold in the shed. It's 10 degrees. My feet are really cold. And then what's next? Let's have a look. Oh, let's do a hip. Or let's do a side stretch. I was going to do this. So sit with your hands and just sit. Oh, the sun's coming up over the hedge. So sit on your bum. Sit on your bum. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Oh yeah. Sit on your. So I've got really long arms. I'm going to hook myself under the chair with my hands. But you can kind of, if your arms enough and aren't bent, to put your hands under your bum, put them under your bum, hold the chair, and we're just going to stack our head back, drop our ribs down, rotate our shoulders back and down. You just have your arms by your side and your elbow pits to the front, but pull on your hands with a bit of tension. So pull your shoulders down with your arms and then stretch one of your over to one side. If you can't work out how to do that on your seat, just put your hands by your side. You don't need this extra tension if you can't find it. So it's really nice to use your hands. Have a little bend in your elbows. You're pulling your upper body down towards the seat. And then we're just stretching our leg very gently from side to side. Tuck your chin. Ribs down. It's hard to keep your ribs down when you're pulling downwards. Really nice. And then maybe add a twist too. So your shoulders will be drawn down, back and down. Bit of tension. You don't normally do this with this much tension, so be really mindful of what you're doing, what your limitations are. And that takes time. It takes time to really go inside yourself and work out what your body needs and what it craves. Right, I want to do a side stretch now, so we can let one hand drop down. Oh, do you want to do that? Yeah, let's just do it like this. On the seat. You can put your hand on your knee if you want. I'll put your feet out in front of yourself and have your knee under your ankle. You take your legs wide if you feel a bit unstable. And then try and create space between your hip and your rib on one side. And externally. Always try to practice externally rotating your elbows. Remind your shoulder that that's where it wants to be, is back and down. To combat, this roundedness that we all experience day to day when we're working, when you can switch your brain on and think, oh yeah, I need a bit of that. I need a bit of opening up my shoulders without my ribs. Let's go to the other side. So same thing, we sort of externally rotate your shoulder. And by that I mean, think about your elbow rotating away from your body. And if you watch your shoulder, it automatically drops down. That's what you want to create. So that's what you want to create there. And then create a gap between your ribs and your hips. Really nice. Okay, let's do a hip flexor stretch. Bring one bum cheek to the edge of the 14 meters placing. And just kind of tip. Come here. Come sit down. There's so cold in there. Come on. So have your bum cheek on the edge of the chest. Come on. It's warm in here. On the edge of the chair and bend your front knee. Come on. Not done. Wait for you. So I've got my left bum cheek on the edge of the chair and the leg bends, and I'm going to let this bum cheek hanging off the seat. I've got my foot on my toes then, so I hope you don't fall off the edge of the chair. So be really mindful if you've got like a flimsy chair where you need to put your weight to hold you. So here, I'm just going to tuck under my pelvis and find a stretch down the front of my leg then. And you can also combine it with reaching over as well. So get this bit right first. So put your leg wherever you need to find the front of the hip stretch here. Make sure that your hips are square, and then tuck yourself under until you can feel it. You might have to hold it tight, and then once you've got that, you can add this in if you want to. And draw. So then if you have got your arm above you, rotate your elbow back, draw your shoulder down, draw your ribs down, and then create sort of a whole line of tension from the tips of your fingers to the top of your knee on the floor. So draw your knee down towards the floor. Oh, you've got to really think about it. Draw your knee down to the floor. Draw your fingertips and your elbow over. Try to stay lifted. Don't sink into the seat. Really nice. Let's go to the other side. So right one cheek on the edge of the chair. Don't fall off, whatever you do. And then take your knee back. So you've got to find it. See how I was ramping up my ribs then? You've got to bring your ribs down and find Oh yeah, so look, if you drop your hips in a square at the front, it's much easier to find that tension. I was finding it hard on the other side, and that's it. I think my hips weren't square, ribs down, tucking under, create a bit of tension there. Hold it when you found it. And then if you want to, externally rotate the shoulder and the elbow, raise your arm above your head, and then use your waist to create space, to draw the stretch. So down the whole side of your body. So think about your fingertips reaching up, but not out of your shoulder. So your elbow reaching up, and then your knee stretching down towards the ground. Such a nice stretch. Watch those ribs. Don't let them ramp up. Keep them down. Use your shoulder joint. Oh, it's really nice. Let me just turn the page. You've got the whole hand. We've done a seated twist. Right, let's just do something that I haven't done for a while. So I was reading something about backs and strength. And I really wanted to try this. So grab your weight of some sort, or a cushion or something. I'm going to just have a, so make sure you're seated well on the edge of the chair. And I'm just going to take the arms down and just warm up the arms for a minute. So just keeping the ribs still, pushing the palms of the hands into the weight. So you could use a book if you're at work or something in the office. You squash between your hands. Or maybe you've got a drink bottle, that would do. So then we're going to take our arms down and then we're going to curl ourselves forward. So you can curl yourself forward, but try to hinge yourself forward first and then curl yourself right down and reach back behind you. The chin's tucked. You're holding your weight. You pushing your hands into the weight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to uncurl the spine. Use the hinge of the hips, bring the arms up, just building a bit of strength. So arms down, use the hinge of the hips, use the curve of the spine to come right the way down. So bring your arms up, slowly uncurl your back, and then use the hinge of the hips to come up. So bring your arms down. Hinge your hips forward, curl your back round, and reach back. So bring your arms up. So now you've got sort of the mechanisms of a curl and then a hinge. You can really consciously move yourself between the two. Try not to ramp your ribs up. Very tempting to do that. Think about the slower you do it, the more conscious you need to bring your arms down, curl your spine around, all the way down, and then bring in the hinge to get really low. And then the same thing for the way up. So uncurl your spine, bring up your arms, unpull your hips, come back onto your sit bones, pull your hips forward, bring your arms down as you curl your spine under, reach back. One more time. Reach up. Really nice move for the muscle that runs down the front of the body. I don't even know its name, but it attaches at your pubic bone and under your ribs. And it's the thing that causes the six pack that we've all got. So that's working with your psoas muscle. Really nice to move that. So let's just do a few arms, seated arms. Got about another 20 minutes of stuff to do. And I know it's 9. So let's just do a few arms. So just keep your ribs down. Externally rotate the elbow. Reach out to the side as if you're fencing. Be really mindful of where your arm is going. If you've got a stand-up desk, or you can sit at your desk and do this, just need a little hand weight or a book or something on your desk that you can lift up. This tiny bit of resistance really goes a long way. So then let's do the small moves. Let's do a circle one way and then a circle the other way. Ooh, I haven't done this for a while. And then let's take, so imagine that the plate's flat, you're going to take it back and then do a twist. Bring it forward and then do the twist. So take your arm back as far as it will go without anything moving apart from the shoulder and the arm. Be mindful that you're not you're actively holding what's in your hand. And then do 2 more. So take your arm behind you. Always take your arm behind you every single day. And then twist back. Take your arm behind you. And twist back. Let's go to the other side. Let's do a few of these to begin with. Oh, Timmy's crying now. He's such a funny dog. He won't come in here. I think he's scared of this light. I've got a light ring on. Which I would be, I think. And then do a little circle. So try and hold your arm as straight as you can. It's really hard. And then do a little circle. The small moves really count for strength in your shoulders. And women who are menopausal age, they start to get shoulder problems. So if you can move your shoulders as much as you can whilst you're at work and not rest them so much on the desk. And then, and then take your arm back as far as it will go, as if you're reaching back, and then twist your body around. And then take your arm back and twist your arm around. Actively hold up this thing. It's getting hard now. It shows which side I'm weaker on. And then take your arm. I think I can only do 1 more without really straining myself. Oh, that's good. And then let's roll our shoulders. Don't not load. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do some squats. So think about how you get up and down out of a chair. It's a perfect opportunity to strengthen your glutes. Lift sideways. So have your hips, knees and ankles in a line. And as you come up, try not to scoot your legs back like that. So reach forward, take your weight over your knees. Keep them, if you've got one of those straps that you can strap up on your knees, they're really handy for making sure that you're pushing your knees outwards and then come up. And see if you can just lean back, reach back with your bottom to sit down. Let's do about 10 of them. So you can do them like this if you want, or if you struggle to get up and down off the chair, which some people will, you can just practice getting like this. Make sure you use the hinge of your hips to reach back. You can do this. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor and they don't roll outwards like mine would doing then. And to really reach back with your bum. This is a marvellous move for anybody who, when they stand, their knees fall inwards. This is a really good thing to add to your movement if you find that your knees fall in all the time. Really stand. I'm going to do a few more seated. Same thing, just like let your bottom kiss the seat. Come on. Let your bottom kiss the seat. Come on. Let your bottom. Ooh, kiss the seat. Come on. You can also try this on the loo. I always try first thing in the morning. Try and squat down quite hard when your body's been flat. You bring in a little bit of movement. Your arm. You could add some weights to these arms. Yeah, a bit of a counterbalance is always good as well. So maybe just yeah. Then you can land your bottom gently on the seat then if you've got a bit of counterbalance. Make sure those toes are in contact with the floor. You might find that you're getting a bit out of breath. And that's because the glutes are really big and strong muscles. They require a lot of energy. And that's why a lot of us end up not really using our glutes much when we walk. We kind of let ourselves fall forward. So it's a really good opportunity to really engage your glutes in your body. Let's do 2 more. Ooh, I'm out of breath. Right, I just want to come to the edge of the seat now. I just want to do a knee exercise. I haven't done it for ages. So I've been helping a lot of people with their standing positions. And I find that lots of knees are locked on all the time. And I absolutely think that a lot of knee pain comes from this. So see if you can scrunch your knees up and relax them. Scrunch and relax. So watch your pelvis, want your pelvis pulled forward, and just spend a moment scrunching up and relaxing them. See if you can do like one at a time. See if you can hold one scrunch and pulse the other one. And hold one scrunch and pulse the other one. And just flex your feet. And just be mindful of what it feels like to be able to relax your knees. And see now if you can transfer that to standing. So, can you stand with a relaxed knee? Be mindful of where your weight is. See, I always push my weight forward over my toes. Bring your weight back. Remind yourself to relax your knees. See if you can relax your knees. Rotate the thighs outwards. When you stand still, always see if your knees are on or off. And sometimes when you push your weight forward, your knees will grip on. See if you can find a position where you're standing with relaxed knees. See if you can engage the big toe joint with the floor as well, and gently kiss the floor with your toes. And see if you can grip your knees on and then relax and grip, relax. If you can't, if you were down there on the chair and then you've got up here and you can't grip and relax, the next position is to do it sort of up the wall a bit. So you gradually come to standing. So if you found that, it turns you off to me. Oh, so for this knee now, we can't. Ooh. So just practice knee grip off, on, off, on, off, on. I'm going to do a big toe stretch. So hopefully you've got a chair that looks like this. Do realise that in the office you probably won't have a chair that looks like this. You'll have one on a stick with some feet in a circle. So find the edge of something. Of course, you probably won't have bare feet as well, but maybe you will if you work in a forward-thinking office. So I'm just going to stretch my big toe on the edge of this chair. If you don't have this, you can just pull your big toe up and reach your toes back to the floor. So you could use one hand to make the toes flat and the other hand to pull the big toe. And you can perhaps go the other way as well. So big toes are just so important when it comes to how we move and how we navigate the floor and how we walk. To be able to stretch them and take care of them is really important. So go to the other foot. I'm just going to stretch my big toe, stretch the other toes down towards the floor. For those of you who've just brought your foot up, you can stretch the other toes forward, pull on the big toe, do it the other way, push the toe forward, bring the toes up. Very nice. Let's just do a top of the foot stretch as well while we're here. The top of the foot really gets stretched, and yet we rely on it so much to walk. So make sure you don't drop your ankle out to the side. Come back a bit. So try not to go like this. Try to stretch like all along the big toe. Curl the other toes and draw the top of the foot down towards the floor. Create a space between the joints of the toes and where the ankle is. Really nice. Ooh, might start a bit of cramp, and as my feet are like blocks of ice, this isn't the most comfortable stretch. Ooh. Can't read the last bit of that I put without a stretching big toe, thoracic stretch. Let's go back to the start where we just did a thoracic stretch. Did quite a lot of work on shoulders. So come back to the start. Gently bring your weight back. 2 straight necks, 2 ungripped knees. You could let your head hang if you want. If this is too much for you, you could also put your hands on the seat and just have a lovely stretch. So you don't always have to have your hands you know, this is quite a lot of weight on your shoulders. If you see, you can bring your weight back into your hips. Breathe into your ribs. See if you can bring your hands down the sides, the legs of the chair. Ooh, and can you get to the bottom of the chair? Ooh. See if you can pick your shoulders up off the floor. So just doing a forward bend down. See if you can pick your shoulders up off the floor. Back to using those rhomboids. Moving the shoulder blades. Oh, I love this. It's so sad. Moving the shoulder blades across the back of the ribs. I love it because I feel so fortunate that I've maintained this movement, because I see so many people who cannot do this move, and it comes back quick when you practice it, but it's just so valuable for ensuring that your shoulders and your arms move in a smooth way around your ribs. It's just, yeah, I think it's lost from a lot of people's lives, you know, because of the way that we live and phones and stuff. I just think it's lovely. So let's finish with the next stretch. And roll down the pelvis. And then roll down the legs. So I hope this video has been able to give you a few tips for the stuff that you can bring to work with you. So I'm just going to stack my head back on my shoulders. I'm going to imagine I'm holding that big box. Ooh, that is tight on one side for me. Ooh. Drop your ribs down. Close your eyes if you want to. Let's just breathe in and out through your nose. Always try and breathe in and out through your nose. Stretch the back of the spine up to the ceiling. Take a moment. Oh, that's really nice. Maybe have a little stretch in your neck, reach your ear, down to your shoulder, and go to the other side. Okay, roll your shoulders back. Down. And let's just fold forwards and tuck your chin. You can put your hands behind your head if you want, and roll your spine down in a little ball. Take your shoulders between your knees if you can. Just hold yourself here. Find a lovely spinal. Imagine gaps being formed in between the vertebra of your spine. Allow the liquids in the spongy bits in between the vertebrae to move in and out. Create some space. Don't forget the spine spends a lot of time being stacked and loaded. This takes the weight away from the spine, just allows it to kind of reset itself. I do this when I'm working. I stand, you know, every now and then, and from standing up and my back starts to hurt, just like roll down and then roll back up. All right, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you want any more help with moving at work, please get in touch. And starting to warm up in here now. Let me switch it off.